So let me go and pull out my notes for Guardians of the Galaxy, since that's the next one now. Which I don't even know how many notes I have for this damn thing. It is... Oh, I don't have any notes for it.
Okay.
I do.
Oh, you do? Oh yeah, because you saw the... Okay. First off, let me go over some stuff, and then... So, this movie's grading B. I thought it was really... So, first thing... I've played the games, the Telltale version and the other one. Well, I didn't complete the other one yet. But it's like I was already familiar with it. So like the most jarring thing for me, excuse me, not jarring in a bad way, but just, juxtaposition for me, was that they weren't all together at the beginning and that they were like fighting with each other and all that. And then they're not like together until the end. Ronan was an average guy. I didn't have a problem with him, killing. I didn't have a problem with Ronan. I was fine with him. I'm satisfied with the way he was actually defeated. The Guardians themselves, strictly speaking for this movie, the Guardians themselves I all like, except for Rocket. strictly speaking for this movie, because he was an asshole. And then I like the intergalactic planet shit. The only weird thing for me, and I get it because it's in space, because in Phase 1, every movie feels like it's its own thing except for like the Avengers. Phase 2 feels more connected except for this movie. It feels like its own thing again, like all the other ones. The overall writing was pretty good. James Gunn is a pretty good director, and I think that's about all I have to say about it. In all honesty. So what are your notes, Muji?
Well, let Thomas talk first.
Okay.
So, I think just to say, this movie kind of felt like its own thing. It really was an introduction to the galactic component of Marvel. I remember when I first saw it. Not that I was confused, but I was very much like, wow, this is something very different from what I've been watching, and I actually really, really enjoyed watching it, and I really wanted to see way more of these types of movies. When I did see this, it kind of made me think wow, this is what a superhero genre can be, even if it is so different.
All right. I liked the movie. I liked all the characters. I thought Rocket was being a dick in a funny way the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he was ever mean. It was a sarcastic mean. But and there was that scene where you can see he was being a dick to everyone because everyone kept calling him a vermin or rodent or whatever, which hurt his feelings, which caused him to be mean. It's not just that he's being a dick to be a dick the whole movie. Now, as for you kept complaining that why is Peter not dying when his space helmet thingy is on, and you just didn't care about him saving Gamora at all. You said it was a dumb scene and you didn't even watch it when it was going on.
I watched it. I said I didn't care for it.
Turned your head away like you hated it. Anyway, that mask isn't just a mask. It's like an invisible spacesuit. If you pause it, you can see that there's a blue outline thing going through his body. It's invisible looking, that's why you can't see it. It's not just a mask, which is why when he takes off that mask and saves Gamora, he instantly starts to freeze, his hands and stuff, not just his face. And Gamora is freezing when the mask is not on. It's a spacesuit. And the fact that, it's not a traditional Earth spacesuit, it's space technology. We don't know how it works. So that's just something I wanted to point out. Another thing you asked about in the movie was what is units? It's space currency in that universe.
Why?
I mean,
No, okay. I knew when I said what are units, I didn't mean as in what is space currency. I meant
What is the dollar conversion?
Yeah. Like, okay, it's 40,000 units. Is like, can I buy a car with that? To me, it does.
Yeah, but does it matter? That's like saying, what are Starbucks?
No, it was just a question out of curiosity. Like, how much is... Okay, well, that's my whole fucking point. I was just... Well, that was my whole thing, though. Like, is $40,000 like enough to fucking buy Disney like units? I don't know.
I'm pretty sure the way they said 4 billion units, I'm assuming that's a lot.
Oh yeah.
So, anyway, another thing you said was, what is artificial gravity?
And I hope they explain how it works, and then they didn't.
How does artificial gravity work? The director says it works.
Okay. I accept Thomas's answer to that. Just accept it, because it doesn't make any sense any other way.
Like, are you talking about the technological aspect of how it works?
Yes, I know how the artificial gravity shit works. That's obvious, like you said. I mean, like.
Well, yeah. Okay. Well, yeah. It's a space movie. It's supposed to be, wacky. Not everything is supposed to.
Well, my point is, I like it when things make sense.
It's like Star Wars. You don't question how their spaceships fly, even though they are not aerodynamic at all.
Oh, if they had a thing to turn off gravity, I would question it on that too.
They
but
do.
Well, I've never seen it.
Star, lets people walk.
They don't turn on. Okay, so moving on though.
As a moon, it literally probably does have some type of gravity to it. It's huge. Everything has gravity.
Yeah.
You have gravity in space. It's just you're so small. It's so insignificant. Maybe like a tissue paper might be able to fly around you at most.
All right. Any more notes, Muji? I assume you have more.
Yes. You were mad that Yondu killed all the people with his arrow and nobody shot him.
Oh yeah. Because well, yeah.
Yeah, but that scene was slowed down. That happened in like milliseconds.
Well, then they should have shown that, because it looked like it was pretty much normal speed.
They did show it. Nobody moved much. Oh crap! My phone's.
I think Muji's right.
Yeah.
Well, then what I'll have to do then is I'll have to rewatch that scene.
No, I'm saying I don't think Muji's right.
You don't? Okay.
I don't think that was slow motion, but that's also how do you react to that? You see a flying. Yeah. Killing a bunch of people really quick.
You shoot the fucking guy?
No, I don't know what's going on. Like, what the hell is going on? This dude starts whistling and people are dying. I don't know what's going on, man.
I would shoot him with that thing.
Motion fast, but it was fast enough that I think realistically I can see people not shooting in that sense because they don't know what's going on out of confusion.
Okay, well I said in the reaction, the first 2 or 3 guys I get it, but after the 10th guy, really?
I don't know.
I would have to see specifically that that was that long that it's not.
Dude, it was a 20 or 30 second scene or
But I don't know, man. I don't know. I like Yondu. I like him a lot.
I do too. Actually.
Yeah, it was cool. Man, there was a comment someone made that I wanted to bring up.
What? One of us?
Or Flitch mentioned he didn't care for Rocket Raccoon. Muji said you liked everyone. I don't love Nebula in this movie. I'm going to be honest. I don't like Nebula.
I don't mean Nebula's supposed to be likable in this movie.
Not I can't relate with her. I don't like the acting. I don't know if it's bad or if the script is kind of a little weird with it, but I don't like the overly dramatic characterization of them. I get it, but in general, I don't enjoy any scenes ever in a Marvel movie with Nebula. And I know this is talking about movies in the future. But I just don't like the character, the way they're portrayed, the way they act. There's something a little, slightly off about it that I've never enjoyed. Something I really do enjoy though is the ending of the first movie. Holy crap, that was pretty goddamn funny with the dance off. Did not see that coming, but
it was yeah. I'm distracting you. What do you think?
Um,
it is cliche to end with like the power of love, but I thought it was well deserved, man. The
Yeah,
chemistry
me too.
characters were good, so you know what, I enjoyed that movie a lot.
and it also, now that you've seen the second one, it makes sense why he was able to hold a power stone and not die.
Because he's a yeah, I can't get. Okay, so for any audience members here, I've seen Volume 2, but we're not talking about that today. So I'm aware of what Muji's talking about.
At the time, it wasn't like a thing that I even considered, to be honest. Though, like it was just more like they all absorbed it. So who cares?
I mean, I think it depends on who holds the Infinity Stone. Like, Ronan is able to survive more of it than a random stranger because he's more powerful.
I think that's just in general a continuity error with a couple of the movies, because like some of these characters should not be able to touch them the way they.
Not necessarily.
Oh.
I'm talking about like Thor 2, like
Oh,
everyone,
okay.
or Thor 2. Everyone's just really casual with the ether. Everyone's just super casual with it.
Nobody has the ether.
That's not true.
Wait. Who does have the ether?
Natalie Portman.
Yeah.
Does she? Oh.
Well, she had it.
Yeah.
That's the only one that had it. What are you talking?
Does that make any sense whatsoever?
What? That it's in her skin?
Yeah.
It's
No. They pulled it out of her skin at the end of the movie.
Yeah.
But like, it doesn't make sense that she was able to just.
Oh, to just chill with it and hold it. Okay, I get what you're saying, because she's a normal bitch and yet she was having it. I see what you're saying.
These early, they didn't know exactly how they were going to depict a lot of this stuff, so I feel like there are issues with that.
Here's
Well,
the thing.
to be fair though, okay, go ahead, Muji.
I think the explanation for that is in a future Thor movie. I have a theory for it.
I also have my own theory.
But
that's headcanon.
That is retrospective.
Wait. Can I give my theory? Here's my theory. My theory is that each Infinity Stone has its own properties of what it does. Like the Time Stone has nothing to do with power. It's just time, which is still powerful as fuck though. So like my thinking on it is that maybe like because the ether isn't like it's not the Power Stone, so anybody can just kind of have it. Whereas like maybe like if it was like the Power Stone, it would have fucking obliterated her in a second.
I think I can accept that, because that would kind of track with other things in other movies.
Here's the thing: you can hold other stones. Like, you can hold the Tesseract as long as it's not being used recently and powered up. Like, it's not.
Is not specifically, and I guess this goes into the ether as well. The Tesseract contains the stone.
He's not supposed to know that yet.
Oh no! I already do know that.
Obviously, it's not a stone. It's a box.
Well, but because they've said it's an Infinity Stone, yeah. I mean,
yeah.
Okay. Speaking of, okay, they're don't answer this, but like they're because like. None of these damn things are stones so far, so why the fuck are they called the Infinity Stones?
Well.
So don't answer that, but because I'm pretty sure there's a reason. Maybe they turn into stones at some point, but like, I don't know.
Now here's my.
We are a little off track, so back to.
Yeah.
One thing I do want to say,
yeah,
about you saying that the stones, like, either not having an effect, on anything, right? I can say this because this hasn't happened and this has not been shown anywhere or whatever. This is just my theory. I think the ether gives Natalie Portman cancer. That is my prediction.
Is there some like indication on Ragnarok that would be the case? Actually, I probably shouldn't ask that.
Indication from a comic.
Oh, okay. He thinks that the ether gave Natalie Portman or whoever Jane Foster cancer. Because apparently that was a plot point in the comic at some point.
Okay.
It's related to.
I don't see how that's related to what we're saying though.
I'm just saying. You said.
Well, no, because
they're not had any physical consequences of.
That's not what I'm saying. What I was saying is like it should in my opinion, like from what I thought would make sense continuity wise, I thought she should have but I guess not.
Died?
think,
well, we don't know how it works though.
yeah, I think Flitch made a good
I think
point
it
that
depends on
she
the
changed my
stone.
mind on that.
Yeah, that it depends. I feel like it just depends on which Infinity Stone it is.
Right.
Yeah, like I think Power Stone is the hardest to hold.
Actually, let's
compared
see.
to all of them.
Let's see. So far, what I've seen, it's
Right.
a bit off topic, but let's see. I've seen the Mind one, the Power one, the Time one, the energy one, the Reality one. Mind one is Vision.
Energy one.
Right, but where did that come from?
Mind Stone came from Loki's spear.
Ultron.
Right. Okay. Yes.
I don't think I've encountered the sixth one yet, because I know there's 6. I don't.
Gold Stone?
I don't think I've. Yeah, I don't. Is this also? I don't think I've encountered the 6th one yet. Yeah, so maybe in Thor Ragnarok, because that's the next one.
Could be.
Maybe.
I don't know.
All right, let's
Yeah.
move on.
Yeah.
I will let you explain this, Thomas, because
Okay.
I don't remember this.
Go ahead.
Flitch was mad that Peter had a second orb to store
Yeah.
the Infinity Stone at the end to trick Yondu.
So allow me to elaborate for you, Thomas, a little bit, because they were keeping the stone in an orb, and then they gave the orb to Yondu, and then when Yondu opens it, it's just some bullshit in there, and then they have the real one still in their own. So my line of thinking was, where did the second orb come from? Because they never showed him getting a second orb or anything. He just kind of happened to have one.
That's a good point.
I feel like they showed it when they planned it, but I don't remember. Like, when they were regrouping, but I don't remember if they did or not.
Why would they?
Remember when they were discussing the plan?
I
That's
think
the only
that's
time
not really a smoking gun type situation. You would want to show a second orb.
Like, I'm posing like this man's gears are grinding from my.
Orb that he gave Yondu, was it actually an orb?
Well, it was like this little circular like box thingy. They called it the orb.
Orb. Was it an orb?
Yeah, was
It was an orb, yeah.
Was it similar?
For sure, at the end of the movie, it was an orb and not like a box, like a generic.
No. So as far as any viewer is supposed to know, it is the orb with the thingy in it. Like it's visually indistinct from it.
I know the viewer's supposed to think what it is, but I just don't remember there being 2 orbs. I feel like, how did I not catch that? Or how did they not catch
Yeah, I feel like it's been a while and I'm missing something.
Now I'm thinking like that. That's such a good point, but why would that go over my head? I think
it doesn't make sense.
Quickly.
Are you gonna go watch it?
Okay, so 2 things. I was just kind of fast forwarding through the ending. So the orb at the beginning of the movie is not the same orb at the end of the movie. So the ending of the movie, he basically has his own container, like his own customized container for it. Why does he have 2? Probably for that specific reason, because he's a trickster and he's a bad person kind of.
Smuggler.
But the orbs are not the same. And also at the end of the movie, I don't think this was actually spoilers for Guardians 2. They're literally, it says, you're not 100% human, and that's probably how you touch the stone. Yeah, so that wasn't really a spoiler for anything. They literally explained that. Weirdly, it kind of explained that right after.
Oh yeah, well that's why I accepted it and I didn't call bullshit on it, because I was like, oh, so he's not,
Yeah. So yeah, it is just convenient that Peter Quill had 2 orb containers, but it's not like insane. It's not like original containers, because the stone was already inside of the hammer, or his little staff hammer thing. His war hammer, I guess, is what it would be called. Yeah.
All right, and then one last thing. This is sort of related to Guardians, but sort of Flitch's argument as a whole about all the phases. It's about, he thinks Thanos should be sprinkled throughout all the movies, and he should be in other movies.
His presence should be, not him in particular.
I disagree.
What would be the point of having him in each movie? He's there if you see him once in a random movie. You know he's there in the background. Do you need to
Well,
remind
no, okay. Here's my thing on it. So he is touted as a as a central villain of the first three phases. And as far as I'm concerned, he's not, because he has a cameo in 3 movies so far. I mean, he's out there, but like each movie has nothing to do with him. Okay, so the Avengers happened because of him. Yes. Guardians 1 happened because of him. Basically, yes. Age of Ultron happened because of him, to some degree, because of Tony's fear of him. And that's pretty much it. So that's it? I mean,
here's the thing with that is that you have to understand at the time of Phase 1, especially during Avengers, the first cameo of Thanos, there was no plan to make Thanos a villain in any movie. That was a random post-credit scene that Joss Whedon added just for shits and giggles, to be honest. They had no idea what they were. That was completely off. Like, that wasn't a plan yet until Phase 2 started, and then then Kevin Feige really was starting to become more central in the role. I don't know if Muji knows this, but Kevin Feige didn't really get into the creative role until, I want to say, after Avengers, because Phase 2 originally was announced maybe even later into Phase 3, but either Phase 2 or Phase 3 was supposed to have other movies in it, like the Inhumans, before Kevin Feige took the official MCU creative role.
I don't think that's true. From what I know, he has been ever since Iron Man 1, especially Incredible.
You're very muddled. I can't hear you.
Okay. As far as I remember, ever since Iron Man 1, and especially after Incredible Hulk, they were sure they wanted a connected-ish universe. They weren't sure if they wanted to go on with it after Avengers 1 until that movie made a lot of money. But he's always been part of it. Now, as for the Thanos cameo thing, I don't remember. I've seen interviews with him after the end of Phase 3, and he's always said that the plan has always been for Thanos to appear at some point down the line.
Kevin Feige was not in creative control completely until after Phase 1. He wasn't. It was
I can believe
whoever the racist guy was that everyone got mad at like a year or two ago, because he said he's, who I'm talking about, the guy that said Black Panther would never sell tickets because he's black, the same guy that replaced wrote Iron Man 1 and Iron Man 2. That was the executive Marvel movie producer for a while. Kevin Feige threatened to quit because he thought that he was making decisions. And he's like, hey, listen, he told Disney that he's going to quit if he wasn't put in full creative control. So I'm sure by Phase 2 that Thanos was the plan, but 100% Marvel's Avengers, when Phase 1 ended, there was no plan about Thanos. That was just thrown in there. It was just thrown in there. It wasn't anything specific. Joss Whedon just wanted to throw something in at the end. That's it. That was not planned. Phase 2 probably was planned. It could have. I don't know exactly when
it was
Thanos, but it probably was, just because of all the hints after that are very forward. They're not as subtle. But I know for a fact Avengers 1, Thanos was not planned yet. That was just a thing they threw in. So I think, back to what Flitch's point was, I think that detracts from, we didn't know what the movies were going to be about. And also, I think it's kind of redundant to have Thanos appear and do kind of nothing.
Yeah.
Movie until he does something. There is no necessary point. We see him in Avengers 1. We already get the hint that he exists, so we know what's coming up. Showing him once every couple of movies until whatever, I think that works fine. I don't have a problem with it, because the movies aren't advertised as Thanos movies. As these movies are coming out, you can only make that argument after you retroactively have watched everything and you're like, oh, he was behind this and that. then you can say things like that. But at the time these movies are coming out, you don't know what's going on, and that's fine because that's not what the movie is about. None of these movies are about Thanos at all, really.
They're about the Infinity Stones.
Even to a lesser extent, that though the Infinity Stones are more like plot devices in these movies about something else. Like Captain America: Winter Soldier, it's not related. It's a good movie. It's a great movie. But like, what would throwing Thanos at the end of that movie do?
Nothing.
Exactly. So like, I
Guardians.
agree with you on that point. A lot of that argument is like coming at it from the point of view that I think your mind is a little poisoned.
Well,
but I think that Thanos is some sort of big bad. I think you should take these movies.
I don't have a problem with the way these movies do it. My only thing is that, like, because he's touted everywhere as a central villain of all three phases, when to me, he's not.
He's not the central villain. Okay, it's not like he's the central villain. Central villain would imply that he's behind everything. He's not.
Well, that's my whole thing. But people call him the central villain.
Well, people say that, but that's not the fault of the movie.
Yeah, no, okay. He's not the central villain. What it is more like he's built up to be the best villain.
He was always in the
he is being built up like that to be the best villain.
Yeah,
even now he is.
He's not behind everything, and he doesn't need to be, because if he was, the movie would end in 5 minutes.
No, I agree. Again, my only argument with this whole thing is that people, okay, maybe not you guys, but a lot of people call him the central villain. He's not.
Who is a lot of people?
Yeah, that's not the fault of the movie, though. That's the fault of people explaining things to you. I think that's different. I think
that's fair. That's fair.
Yeah, and the way I see it, this is just my opinion of it. I've already said it before. I think I see it as Avengers 1, just starting the whole fear of Thanos coming back for Tony, that whole plot line, which is why Age of Ultron happened, which is why, which is what led to Civil War, which broke up the Avengers. Like, I think Thanos' actions caused it, and also the canon reason of why he hasn't attacked is in a movie you haven't watched yet, that I cannot discuss about.
Probably Infinity War.
No, before Infinity War.
Oh.
There's a reason he attacks in Infinity War.
Oh. Okay.
Anything, Muji, and we just let him watch movies.
Well, to be fair to Muji, for anybody who might be saying, "Oh, you're giving spoilers," to be fair to Muji, I'm aware there are only 3 movies left before it, which is Ragnarok, then Black Panther, then Infinity War. So at this point, like, it's not like he's giving away like really much.
I'm not giving anything specific.
Yeah, like yeah. Even if he even with the statement, it's before Infinity War, that only leaves 2 movies, so it's not like I'm on Iron Man 3.
And it's pretty vague, like you don't.
Yeah, I have no idea what the fuck he's talking about. So.
Other than that, do you guys have any thoughts on Guardians 1? I thought the Thanos CGI looked bad in it.
Yeah.
I thought it looked fine. I didn't see anything wrong with it.
Yeah, but like Infinity War Thanos looks so good.
Well, I haven't seen Infinity War Thanos, or have I? Actually, I think I have technically. Like, okay, I mentioned this in my Guardians reaction, so I have no problem mentioning here. I have actually seen Thanos in pictures, like just on the internet. The purple blue alien guy. I have seen pictures of
twerking memes.
The who?
The Thanos twerking memes?
I don't think so. I've seen. Okay, so I'll even say here's the 2 pictures I've seen. I've seen a picture of him just standing with like what looks like a tank top or something. I don't know, probably some kind of armor, and he's just standing there. And then there's another one where he has like his hand like this, I think, and then there's a caption. Like this. Since I can actually use this hand, like this, and then there's a caption saying something about balance, and that's all I've seen.
Okay.
So that's how I've seen Thanos before Guardians.
All right.
I assume those are both from Infinity War.
Probably from a trailer, and half the stuff from the trailer isn't even in the
Isn't even in the movie.
It's misdirect. One
They
thing
did.
you should know, Thomas, he doesn't know the titles for Phase 4 stuff. Not that it matters, because Phase 4
I know some of them.
Yeah, but like I don't think it matters because the movies take place in different time periods. So
Well, anthology.
There's WandaVision as a TV show. There's Hawkeye.
yeah, you don't know where any of them take place.
Yeah, I don't. There's Black Widow.
Yeah.
There's No Way Home. Thor: Love and Thunder. I know a few of them.
All right, let's move on to the next one.
Okay, so now for Age of Ultron. So this one. All right, so first off, my grading for this is already straight up malleable from the beginning because my initial grade was a C+.
I
But
think you grade Guardians.
no, Guardians is B.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
So that,
Yeah. But for Age of Ultron, it was a C+ when I first watched it, and then like a few days after I watched it, I changed it to a C-, and then I was just like, it's kind of malleable, so this one's pretty. It doesn't even have a set one, somewhere in the C realm. But so to start off with, what? Go ahead.
I have no notes for it, so you're on your own. You better remember everything.
Oh, okay. Oh, I assume Muji would have notes. Okay, so I'll just mention everything that I remember. So, overall, didn't like it as much as the first one. I'll say that straight up. The final battle was basically the same thing as Avengers 1, where you have the Avengers teamed up and then fighting a battle of basically robots. The only difference is that Ultron wanted to kill all people instead of just subjugate them, and that there were more Avengers with Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch. And then, so the final thing, not that it wasn't like, pretty to watch, but like in concept, it was the same thing basically. The beginning of it, I gotta say, okay, here's my thing. I feel like in the beginning they're raiding this Hydra place, for Loki Scepter and all that. I feel like that whole thing should have been its own movie of them finding it and raiding it and all that. I don't like immediately the fact that they put it in the beginning. I don't know. I don't like how they did that at all. First thing, most of the middle stuff I was actually fine with. Most of the middle stuff I was fine with. I don't remember like every last detail already, even though I just watched it recently. I like the scenes with the characters. One part that did feel a bit off. Oh, actually, I'll mention this too. Thor got weirded out when Captain America was going to lift his hammer. He was like, what the fuck, he's going to do it? So, prognostication, whether it's serious or not, maybe Captain America lifts that hammer at some point because he got nervous by it. And then one other thing, I thought it was a bit weird at first, and maybe it still is, that Hulk and Black Widow just kind of like have this romance all of a sudden. But I kind of let it go though in the movie, and the reason why is because random spontaneous romance like that can happen in real life, so I kind of was willing to let it go. Let's see, what else is there? Oh yeah. One part that I didn't really understand too much was why Thor had to go into that like body of water with Eric, like to find out something about his. I didn't even fully understand that part. In order to find out what he truly wanted to do, or wherever the hell that part was even about, I'm honestly still not clear on it. Let's see, what's another thing?
Are we like doing it one by one?
Oh yeah, my bad. Fuck. Sorry. I'm just listing it off one.
Yeah, there's a
you
lot of stuff
unpacked
here.
a lot. On this.
Okay.
From the beginning.
One by one.
So,
The very
Okay.
first thing you mentioned was the intro scene. Muji, I'm gonna let you just say anything about that because I'm sure that's probably one of your favorite parts of the movie.
The intro, I don't like the intro too much, but
Really?
like I think okay. I like that it's I like the Avengers fighting with each like together and whatnot. I love that. Okay, here's the thing. So as for if you need a explanation for why they're there, Is that what you wanted to know?
Oh no. I have the explanation, but I'm saying that I just don't think that was very well executed at all. I think I think it would have been better if they just made a whole movie about it, because all they did was just like have like 2 sentences, like, oh, this is how it happened. I don't like that. Not for something as big as what that is.
Hold on.
I don't think there is a reason. I think the reason is that was a cool ass fucking intro. Who cares? That part's not important. The important.
I care.
Here's another reason.
To me, action needs substance. If the action doesn't have substance, then the action can fuck itself.
The substance there.
No, it's not. Not to me.
This movie's fast paced. This is some crazy ass shit. They're fighting.
No, the way I view action is that if the action doesn't have any substance, then the action can fuck itself.
No more Hydra. These superheroes are kicking ass. They're best friends. I love that intro.
I don't like that intro at all.
Hold on. All right, let's dial it back. Okay, so for both of this, to make Flitch happy, although I agree with Thomas, and I'll explain my reasoning in a second. To make Flitch happy, there were these things called one-shots. They are canon, and you're kind of supposed to watch them, but they're not necessary at all. And if you care about how they got there, that explains it.
The one-shots?
I haven't... No, that specific scene...
That's what Flitch's point is. I guess he just doesn't like action for no reason.
As for... if you want to know more about it, I haven't watched it because I don't care, because I agree with Thomas, it doesn't matter.
To me, it
Loki's
does.
staff was missing. They tracked it down. They want to get it. It's an Infinity Stone. They're not just going to let a bad guy have it.
Well, I know that.
Yeah. So I don't think it needs substance. It's just,
To me, it does.
Have formed. And, they're just fighting crime. They're fighting bad guys. And that's why Thor's there, because the Loki scepter's here.
But it's such an important part of the movie. Why does it need... Yeah. That's what superheroes do. Superheroes fight the bad guys. And these bad guys aren't the main threat of the movie. So it's like starting a movie with a guy driving a car. And you're like, well, the whole movie should have been why the grocery store. But, like, that's just something people do. And these people, this is something they do. The movie... I honestly understand this criticism. Like, I don't, unless you're saying you don't like the way the movie started because it was just action paced, then I would understand what you're saying. I just wouldn't agree with it.
It's because they say basic, let's see. It would be like if you gave 2 sentences to justify, I don't know, a fucking war. I don't like it. It's fucking stupid. The beginning of this movie, I don't like at all. I'll just say that.
But in the beginning of the movie, really into the rest of the movie.
Do you really want to watch?
That's the whole point. Yeah, yes. I want a movie about that. Yes, that's what I want. Not some bullshit beginning.
You want to watch a whole movie about a random Hydra base.
I'm hung up on that point. That movie it doesn't make sense to me. Okay, that does.
I like to have some kind of like actual good executed reasoning for all this, rather than they're there.
But you want a whole movie about it?
I mean, at least part of a movie.
A whole Avengers movie that happens barely to go to waste on a random Hydra base.
At least part of a movie instead of 5 minutes of action in the beginning.
Who would even be the villain? The twins?
Maybe doesn't need a villain. I mean, I don't give a shit, dude. Like, I want something more than what they gave us.
I'm glad you didn't make that movie.
I know. You're glad I didn't.
All right.
I'm really hung up on it. I think we should move on, but I don't understand your criticism. I'm trying.
Ultron?
I don't understand it. Not that I don't agree with it. I just don't know what you're saying.
Fair enough.
The reason Ultron was chosen as the villain, as like a villain in this movie before Thanos, because Thanos was like the big bad, is because Ultron in the comics is one of the most terrifying villains. He's killed the Avengers before in the comics, like by himself. You know that vision where Tony sees like all the Avengers dead?
Yes.
Captain America's shield cracked? That's from the comics. Like, that has happened, but they've died. So that's why they chose Ultron as a villain in the movie, just to give some context to it.
So Flitch is on the side that Muji and I are not on. This movie is not a very popular MCU movie in general. Most people don't like it for a couple reasons. I want to say really quickly why I think this is honestly an underrated movie. Great? No, absolutely not. But it has so much love in it for like character that I really like it. Like these are people that I really like. I enjoy watching already doing things in really any movie. But the way they interact in this movie in the beginning, the way they're kind of being cheeky and kind of fighting on the Hydra base, I love that. They're like clearly friends and they're clearly doing well, like chemistry wise. Then right afterwards, when they're celebrating, I love all of that. I want to go to your point really quick with the romance between Natasha and Bruce. I disagree. I think that was kind of set up from the very beginning of Avengers when Natasha went all the way to Bruce to recruit him for Shield. I don't think it's as explicit, but there's been a couple months in between that. You know, does everything need to be shown? You have 6 main characters. Does every single part of their life need to be shown? I don't know. I think for me it kind of worked. My more issue with it would be kind of, I don't know. I can't say anything without spoiling future movies, but just in general, I think it works. I really like the bond between every single character in this movie. The way everyone does it, this movie does well. James Spader, while he's not a comic book accurate Ultron, I fucking love his performance as Ultron. I love James Spader as the bad guy. He always does well. He has this quirky, sarcastic nature to himself. A lot like he is very much an evil Tony Stark in this movie. I don't know, man. There's so much like character in this movie that I really enjoy, that it kind of outweighs some of the bullshit in the movie that's not very good. Like the plot isn't very great. It's kind of generic.
Terminator 3.
It is a Terminator movie, basically. And the Thor thing actually does piss me off. The Thor thing with the
pool
future.
or wherever the fuck.
Hold on.
That was like so jarringly out of place. Like it looked like it was a different movie. It looked like it was part of Thor 2 or something. And they're like, yeah, let's throw this in this movie. They just had to get Thor out of the picture for whatever reason. For a little bit, they wrote him out of the movie for like 30 minutes.
He was gone for a while.
Yeah, it was weird. It was very jarring. I feel like there had to be a different behind the scenes explanation for why that sort of, I don't know. It was very jarring, but the rest of the movie, man, like it's not a perfect film when it comes to plot or anything like that, but the character dynamic, the interactions, I loved all of that. Quicksilver I thought was pretty funny. I didn't care for Elizabeth Olsen in this film, but
I assume that's Scarlet Witch.
yeah, she does improve after this film. So she doesn't.
Civil War.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway,
Yeah.
So I disagree with Thomas on the Thor thing. Here's my reason why. The vision and stuff, I can't really say much about it now. But I think it does 2 things. I think it sets up, how chaotic the Infinity Stones is, because he was scared of the Mind Stone, and that was his vision. And second, I think that's what drove him to create Vision. Like he's the one that powered it when nobody won, and like they were disagreeing about it. And he said that there's chaos in the center of the Mind Stone. So I think that it's more about a setup than anything else for future things. And also a setup and a reason to create Vision. Because without it,
the reason to create Vision was already on the table. They stole the Ultron suit literally because they wanted.
No. I think Thor's reason, like his reason, because they were fighting over.
I'm not saying I don't understand his reason. I'm just saying I don't understand why he disappeared for half the movie and went to like the weird waters of whatever the hell. It's a weird scene.
Scarlet Vision gave him the Scarlet Witch gave him.
I understand the movie's reason, but it doesn't look like it. Like it looks like it does not fit in the movie. It's very like, oh, where did this come from? What pool? What are you talking about? Like this wasn't set up in the movie. It's very weirdly arbitrary. Like it could have been any reason why he did that. He didn't even have to leave the team to come to that decision necessarily. I'm just saying what happened specifically was weird. Not like that it happened, but what happened, it's just kind of like very straight away from the movie. Like it wasn't, like, not that it doesn't make sense why he did things or whatever. It just doesn't, like, it was out of the way. It's like we're watching this movie about the Avengers and then Thor goes to a gas station for 30 minutes, reads a book and is like, man, we should make Ultron because the Infinity Stones are going to be chaos. Like, it's the same logic. Like, I understand why he came up with the idea because it's a good idea to fight Ultron with whatever. I get it. I understand why. It's just like, why did he go to a gas station? What the fuck happened there? And I understand it's not a gas station, but like that's how jarring it is to me. That scene, it's like, where did this where did this weird cave of future? I don't know. It's very, to me, weird that even was the thing that happened. Like it seemed like a thing, maybe like Chris Hemsworth couldn't film a big portion of the movie, so I don't know. It was that part was just so weird to me. Didn't make sense. It just seemed out of place. That's my critique with it. It just seems out of place. That what happened specifically seemed out of place.
I don't think it's not out. I think it is out of place. I think it should have been in Thor 2 probably. But I don't think it's like the worst thing. I think in the long run
I think it's the worst movie.
I think the Black Widow romance is very cringe. It's not done right. I don't like it. It seems so forced. I don't like it.
I'm a romantic at heart, though, but
yeah, but it's more about it seeming forced. Like it seemed to just come out of nowhere to me.
Okay.
Well, to me too.
Yeah.
But like I said,
Joss Whedon being Joss Whedon. Let's move on to other stuff.
Hold up. There's one thing I mentioned in Muji, but since Thomas is here, I feel like I should mention it here too. So one thing that I nitpicked about Age of Ultron was that Bruce was he was trying his best not to reciprocate it because he's scared of the Hulk inside him. But like it seems like they're setting him up with Black Widow, but like Betty Ross was in The Incredible Hulk. So what about her? I already got Muji's take on it, but what about your take on it?
So,
do you want my take?
Did you see Hulk?
The Incredible Hulk, yes.
He's seen it 7 times.
Well, a lot of times.
He almost killed her while they almost had sex. They didn't, but he is not a character that can love somebody like that, and he wants to. So it's very much that dynamic of what is he going to do with Betty Ross? Or Betty Ross, is that her name? I don't know.
Actually, so it's a kind of like Black Widow then, where like he kind of wants it, but he can't let himself have it.
It's the same situation, except this time he's forced in a room with Black Widow because he works with her. So
gotcha.
She's basically the substitute in his life of like, yeah, he wants love, he yearns for love, just like everyone else, but he's
can't have it.
That he can't really have it. At least not a normal relationship, and I think they make an excellent point out of that in the movie, man. Like, I think, especially the Hawkeye scene, holy crap, man, I feel awful for both characters that have gone through such a traumatic past that, like, they'll never have that normal life of love. I know you guys don't like the romance, but
Oh no, I'm fine with romance stuff.
Well, the romance in this film, I meant that you guys.
Oh.
I don't know. I felt the drama or the traumatic nature of the situation. The two lovers that can't be, the two people that can't love, that like the same way that a normal person.
Well, I agree with Muji. Like I said, like on the point where it kind of seemed to come out of nowhere to some degree to me. But you are right though about the Avengers 1 scene. I didn't think about that. And even so, like romance can just blossom. So like I was willing to easily let it go because that's like good enough.
They're two very similar people. I think that is situated in the Hawkeye scene, and like they both have like this nature to them where like she was like basically raised a killer and he turned into a killer. Really, they like she can't have kids and he can't have sex. Like they're like it's really like you like man, I think it's good. I think it's really good, and I don't want to spoil too much.
Don't spoil anything.
When we get to it, we get to it, but I think it's done well. In this movie, particularly, I think the romance between Hulk and
the other one.
Well, and I do like it, and yeah, and I really just like any character moment in this movie. It's all well done. It's all really good, man. I love it. I love it to death. This is a movie I really like a lot, and I recognize it has a lot of flaws. I don't think it's like a film I don't think the film is good. But it's just a film I like to watch because it does make me feel emotions. You know, it makes me feel things. You know, I like it. I enjoy the film a lot.
All right. Well, we'll move on to Ant-Man, but before we do, never mind. All right.
So, a couple things. What did you think about the minor Black Widow origin they gave you in this movie?
Oh, me?
Yes.
Oh, I liked it. I don't know what to say about that. I mean, there wasn't much to it, but what there was, I accept it.
And then secondly, so you said it before, but you said you didn't care at all when Vision lifted the hammer. It was not surprising to you?
Oh yeah, no. I was like, oh, that's cool. In all honesty, it didn't really have an impact on me.
I think I agree with Flitch. That wasn't like a crazy moment to me. He's not like in my head. I process it more like, okay, he's either the most worthy thing possible because he's technically not alive. He is like part of like the greater cosmic universe. Like he's the embodiment of like some great power. So like that's one, not really impressive because he's not human. So like he didn't really struggle to be a good person and be worthy. He just technically, or I took it that he's not alive, therefore the rules don't apply to him, so he can just kind of lift shit normally. So that's the one of two ways I took it. So either way, I was like, yeah, neat that he did it, but I wasn't like, if Black Widow had lifted it, I would have probably.
Me too. If Black Widow, I'd have been like, holy shit!
Like, I think it's different for Vision because he is not a human being, so he can't make mistakes the same way we can. So either he is the embodiment of the universe and he's just technically worthy by default, or he's just not applicable to the rules because he is not alive. That's the way I took it, at least. I don't know if either of those are true, but that's how I took it. So I never really felt anything in that scene either. Just kind of like a neat thing. Just not cool.
I disagree that I don't think he's a robot, because here's my reason why. The Mind Stone, it's what created both Ultron and Vision. I think it created more than just a robot. I think it gave them a sort of sentience. I don't think they're just robots.
I'm not saying he's just a robot. What I'm saying is he's not human, if that makes more sense.
I think
he's not been alive.
I think
he's not been alive to not be worthy.
I don't think Ultron can lift the hammer.
No, probably not.
Yeah. So
but he's not. He's also not like powered by the Mind Stone. You know what I mean?
Don't think it would. I think it wouldn't have mattered.
Right. So if the second rule that I made up like doesn't apply, like it's because he's not alive, therefore he can lift the hammer. Then
Well-
the first rule in my
Well-
head being like he is the embodiment of like some greater cosmic power.
Well-
So why the fuck would he not be able to lift?
Well,
it?
the way I look at it is that Ultron is like very like he's like the unworthy one, where he wants to basically destroy everyone because he wants to have like this metal paradise essentially. That's basically the way he words it himself. And then Vision was created specifically to be the antithesis of that. So like if Ultron is about as far off as you can get, then Vision isn't created to be, I guess, as worthy as you can be. I don't know if I'm explaining that properly.
I don't think it's just that. I think it has to do with
Is it
Jarvis.
Is it impressive to be born strong, or is it impressive to earn your strength? And I think it's more impressive to earn your strength. So like again, like I said, like I'd be more impressed if like at the end of the movie somehow Black Widow picked up the hammer or something like that. But I'm not impressed just like by something being created so powerful that it lifted the hammer. Like, oh, that's neat. He's literally cool as fuck. Like that was just basically to me an introduction to like what type of character Vision is, without dedicating the whole movie to him, because he was only there for the last couple like 20 minutes, something like that. Not even.
All right. So another point that Flitch hated was that why wasn't just Jarvis copy pasted to be a
Oh yeah.
I said that's just not how AI works. AI has to learn. AI, it's like a human. Like, okay, for example, think of it like a twin. Two twins are genetically identical, but they're never the same in personality. Or
Yeah, but if you copy the twin with all its memories, it would.
I don't think you can copy Jarvis. That's my point.
Why not?
Because it learns from its experiences.
Okay,
Yeah, but
okay. Wait, can I interject? So okay, no. So when I complained that that Tony replaced Jarvis, what I was saying, like I get that he would be that Jarvis would be a clean slate, but like why not just do it anyway? Like yeah, it wouldn't be the same Jarvis, yes, but like just get a new Jarvis, like I said, like kind of like having a new baby, and then he can just relearn again. That's my point.
It would be the same thing. It would be the same thing as what he did, to be honest, because what he did was he started from ground zero anyways.
Yeah. So why not? Yeah, that's my point.
Use a ground zero Jarvis. I get it. Who cares? I don't know. So
it was more like a nitpick.
I get it.
I think that's a lot of data
I think
store.
what I felt when I saw that more is like, damn, I'm gonna miss Jarvis. Because
Yeah.
Jarvis,
I do miss Jarvis.
That's more of what I.
Well, I got from you that you didn't give a damn about Jarvis, and you should have just, he should have just been cloned.
Oh no, I like Jarvis, but like why not? I don't know, for Iron Man, like why not just like make another Jarvis though?
I think
They have one technically. It's just called something else now.
I think for technical reasons, just practically, just so you know, you don't have two people voicing the same exact type. One person voicing two different characters. I think just out of practical reasons, and then like also because it would sound exactly.
Or maybe Tony Stark just got too attached to Jarvis and didn't want to replace him with a new Jarvis. Yeah. I just thought about that. There could be a sentimental value there too.
Imagine like if I walked up one day and I had an AI that just sounded exactly like Muji. I don't know if Muji would like that very much.
Yeah. Vision might get pissed off. What the fuck, man?
One thing I wanted to point out for Flitch, I'm sure he noticed, but I haven't seen it, so I don't know. What you do see in the movie is, even though Ultron has vibranium armor, which is the strongest metal on Earth, and almost indestructible from anything Earth made, if you put a lot of heat, and we're talking about a lot of heat from the Mind Stone, the Thor's electricity, and the repulsor beam, like just a lot of insane amount of heat, it could destroy vibranium. That's just something I wanted to point out.
It can't be that much heat, to be honest, because
that's a lot, dude. That's a god throwing his lightning,
but it doesn't, like, continuity-wise,
stone, and a repulsor ray.
Continuity-wise, it doesn't make sense because literally Are you telling me 1940s Howard Stark had the power to heat all that vibranium to make the Captain America's shield?
Oh!
Probably not that much heat to bend vibranium. Yeah, it's the Earth's strongest metal, but it's not like impossible to melt.
I think they said it once. I don't remember where. I think it's somewhere mentioned that it's easy to melt when it's first like comes from an ore, and after that it's hard to bend or melt.
I don't know what movie that would be, but maybe
I forgot. I think I've seen that or heard that from one of the previous ones. I don't remember. Or a future one? I don't remember.
Maybe
but,
I don't.
Yeah,
right.
but yeah. Anyway, anything else about the movie?
I'll say this: my current grade for it is a C minus.
Oh,
no convince my part.
I also.
Well, no, the C minus actually for the character stuff that you pointed out.
Wait, so was it a D at some point?
Probably. I don't really like this movie that much at all.
I'll take it.
The character stuff in the middle more so. I'll give it a C minus for that stuff.
I'll take a C minus.
Also, on a rewatch, I think you guys will disagree, but I don't think Ultron was trying to just murder everyone.
Well, he says that.
Yeah, but I think he was trying to cause an extinction level event to what do you call it? Evolve. I think he wanted humans to evolve, and whoever survives is like survival of the fittest. I don't think he cared about like just murdering people. There's easier ways of doing it, just nuking people. I think he just wanted an extinction level event, which has happened previously in history. And he just wanted people to evolve. That's the way I saw it. I didn't see him just going around murdering people because he's just evil. He is obviously bad, but I think his motivation was a little different.
Maybe.
I can see that.
I get it. It did, but to me, it did feel a lot like Terminator.
Well, Ultron was written before the Terminator movies.
What?
Ultron, the character, was written.
Oh, yeah, sure, but I'm talking about the movie.
Yeah, but that's where the character comes from.
Okay, yeah, but that wasn't the movie.
It's the same motivation in the comic.
I understand. The movie is like the movie explained it one way. I understand his character can be however it wants to be in the comic books, and I'm sure it's very good. But in the movie, it was very much like, I'm not Tony Stark. Like, it was very one.
I remember that.
I think James Spader gave a great performance, but
yes.
Besides that,
Flitch disagrees, but I agree with you.
I disagree. I think Ultron did a good enough. Okay, like as far as the performance goes, yeah, he did a great job. But as far as like within the movie, like his character in the movie,
his motivation wasn't like crazy interesting. It was very much like, I want to kill the Avengers because I don't like the Avengers. I have daddy problems. Also, humans most of them need to die. So here we go. Like, it wasn't like crazy interesting.
One thing, interesting thing is Ultron in the comics is not created from Tony Stark. Mm-hmm. He is created from Ant-Man.
Yep.
Yep.
Huh.
Not Scott Lang, Hank Pym, the old guy. He's the regular Ant-Man in the comics. He's normal aged, not an old guy in the comics. He's the guy that created Ultron initially. In the MCU, since Ant-Man was not introduced yet, they used Tony Stark to create him instead.
Also, it just wouldn't make sense to make Ultron that quickly. Like, Avengers, it would just kind of be weird. These Hank Pym is very much retired at that point. So, like, where did it come from? No one's meant him,
Let's move on. Unless you guys have anything else to say, let's move on to
I
Ant-Man.
don't.
Uh,
By the way, Muji has an addendum for Age of Ultron.
Yeah, I was hearing that. Well, go ahead.
I was just gonna say that one thing I liked in the beginning of this movie was that Captain America had like a magnetic thing that Tony developed for his shield. So it makes a little more sense that his shield, when he throws it, comes back to him. Because it was stupid as hell that it always returned to his hand in the other movies, to me.
Disagree.
Why? You think he throws a frisbee perfectly and catches it every time? I disagree.
He's a smart man, and he's just very good.
He knows physics the whole time. But I like that in this movie.
He's had years to practice, man. I don't know him.
Frozen.
No. I love Thomas's nonchalance. Like he casually just fucking eating ice cream. Like no, whatever. You're just wrong, bitch.
Have you seen a guy on YouTube that did the frisbee stuff?
No.
The Captain America frisbee stuff?
Nope.
Dude, that's a metal shield.
But Captain America's strong ass can throw whatever he wants.
Yeah, but okay. Even Spider-Man says it in Civil War. That thing that makes no sense.
Yep.
Yeah, Spider. Yeah, that was a fourth wall break. I enjoyed that.
All right.
right.
Let's move on.
Do I have any notes for this one? Let me check to see real quick. Fuck, I don't.
The worst.
I know. All right, but so
let's start from the beginning.
yeah. So my grading for this one, I don't think Thomas is gonna like it.
I'm gonna agree with the hell out of it. I enjoyed this.
Well, Thomas isn't gonna like it. B plus.
Holy. You think not only is Ant-Man better than Iron Man 1,
Oh, absolutely.
Avengers, it's better than Ultron?
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know if it's better than Ultron or Avengers 1 or Iron Man 3. I really like Iron Man as a character. I'm biased towards it.
Yeah.
But I think it's a solid movie.
Listen.
I don't think there's anything... I don't think it's a big enough movie in comparison to me that it receives anything higher than a B from me.
This movie, to me, is an easy C. It's not offensive, like, in the way of, like, nothing egregiously bad happens in this movie. No one is, like, having the worst writing ever. The villain is kind of boring. The villain is Jeff Bezos.
Well, the
The most boring Jeff
Peter Russo. With Jeff Bezos, yeah.
I'm pretty sure they guessed Jeff Bezos originally.
Okay, I will tell. Okay, I'm sorry. I will tell you this. Okay, like the weak link, and Muji knows this. The weak link for me is the villain and the basically Ant-Man versus Ant-Man final fight. That's like this movie's greatest weakness. I like the high stuff. Although one particular part I found to be bullshit, but we'll get to that in a minute. But I like the high stuff. I like his friends, how they're basically just jerk-offs, but they're competent enough to help him out a little bit. The one guy over-explains motherfucking everything.
I love that.
It's funny.
Yeah, I find a lot of it to be more relatable than like the other movies so far, because like now disregarding the whole criminal thing, because Ant-Man, you know, he's having trouble holding a job, even at motherfucking Baskin Robbins because of his criminal record. Yeah. The custody stuff with his kid and all that. Even Hope, like, it's not that uncommon for some chicks to have daddy issues. I'm just saying. So, like, I thought the character stuff was a lot more relatable than, like, pretty much most other, like, MCU movies so far.
But I don't think the movie said, and this is my elitist asshole talking.
Okay.
What did this movie say? Did it make any interesting points about anything at all?
About introducing
really.
Ant-Man.
What is this movie even about?
It's
about introducing Ant-Man. Yeah.
Yeah, it's shenanigans, dude.
Okay. To be fair, you like Iron Man 1, but Iron Man 1 just introduces Iron Man.
Yeah.
Guardians?
Yeah, just introduces Guardians.
One has actual character development from this asshole guy who can do whatever he wants and sell war weapons to some guy who's completely broken as a human being and realizes he can no longer live off his father's legacy. He has to do his own thing and be a better person at the same time. That is what Iron Man 1 is. Ant-Man is a movie about a clown doing funny things until it's not very funny. He fights Jeff Bezos, and then it's funny again. That's all Ant-Man is. And I get it. There's some funny jokes in here. The characters are slightly relatable, but like that's all this is. It's like a fun fan film. It's not bad. The movie isn't bad, but there's nothing of substance and good about it. It's just kind of a funny movie. It doesn't really add anything to anything. It doesn't say anything interesting.
You can say that about so many things.
Yeah, and you can say that about most Marvel movies. And that's why, to me, this movie is just average.
You can say that about the Winter Soldier, dude.
I think is crazy. But that's not
true
true
at all.
about
the Winter Soldier.
Oh,
it didn't do anything. It was just running around.
It has an interesting plot. It has an interesting
Captain America
villain.
running around. What? Is that a problem too now?
What?
Or Captain America and Captain America 1. All that movie did was introduce him.
America 1's not very interesting, no.
Well, neither is... Okay, you can say that exact thing about a lot of movies.
That's not true.
I think you're insane.
Not about Winter Soldier.
I don't know why you hate Ant-Man for no reason at all.
No.
Well, he doesn't hate him. He doesn't hate the movie. He just thinks it's average.
No.
The
He
movie.
hates the character for a long time.
I don't. I love him.
Against
Civil
Paul Rudd.
War. Ant-Man in Civil War
Did he
is
serve you a Baskin Robbins?
Sorry.
He doesn't overstay his welcome. I enjoy it in that. But he can't carry a movie. It's not interesting. I don't want to.
Yes, it is.
I'm not rooting for this guy. I don't care.
You're not rooting for him. You're
Okay.
for Jeff Bezos.
Okay. One thing I will level with Thomas on, and I mentioned this in my reaction, which will be up hopefully Friday, depending on copyright issues. But I did notice one thing though, and I mentioned that is in that a big part of his situation with like his monetary issues and all that, by the end of the movie, he's right back to square one. Even after all the bullshit, like he still doesn't have a job. He still can't really get one. He's out of prison, yeah, but like all of his problems from the beginning of the movie, or all his major problems, still exist after, like, from the beginning to the end. So like to that, that part of it makes no progress. So I'll give Thomas that.
Hold on.
The movie's just not interesting. Like, what is interesting about the movie?
Okay, stop your hate boner. Let me answer this question.
The kind of funny superhero film. That's it.
Okay. So,
which is fine, by the way. It's allowed to be.
Distracted me.
But it is
what were you
just
saying?
that.
What were you saying a second ago, Flitch?
Me? Oh, but the fact that like in a lot of ways, like the child support and all that, that by the end of the movie, he's stuff, right? like that nothing really happened there.
Okay, here's my reasoning. Yeah, you remember he pulled off a heist, and Hank Pym is rich as hell. He got paid for the heist.
Huh?
Did he? Because the movie didn't say that I remember.
Well, why would he do it for free? It's a heist. He's telling him to rob someone.
Wait, now that I think about it, did they ever talk about the reward for that in the movie? I don't think they did.
I'm pretty sure they do, don't they?
I don't. Well, no, okay, I'll have to question.
Why would you just do it for him? That doesn't make sense. If Hank Pym is gonna bribe random people to reach the word to Scott.
I'm actually thinking about this now because from what I remember, there was no talk about. So the way I remember going is that he's like, we need to stop Jeff Bezos, and we need to break into this facility to get all this shit and all that, and then like he and Hope have their issues, but like I actually don't. I don't think there's ever a talk of a reward for it, now that I think about it.
I think you guys don't remember this movie, and there's a good reason, because it's not very good. Let's see what happened. Anyways.
Here's Thomas's interpretation.
Hank Pym, okay, here's the actual plot. Here's the actual plot. Wants to see.
I hate this.
His wife won't let him see the daughter until he gets his own place and gets a job.
Yes.
He's broke. He can't do that. So
yes.
Then he hears from a guy who hears from a guy who hears a guy. Whatever. Pym sends down through the the grapevine that, hey, there's a house you can rob and make a lot of money on because the guy's out of town for now. Hank Pym literally entraps him to steal from him, to basically blackmail him to work for him. That's basically what Hank Pym does. The reward was like whatever was in the jewel box. They didn't know what was in the jewel box. That's what that was. And then he basically was like, hey, now you kind of have to help us, and you have my suit. Good luck. You want to see your daughter?
I mean, okay, I will admit, in all honesty, kind of correct, yeah.
It's jewels.
It's not a very interesting movie. It doesn't say anything.
Gets money.
It's just a slightly funny comic book.
It's a really good movie.
That's fine. It's allowed to be a funny movie. It's just not good.
All the ratings for this movie disagree with you.
I mean, it's fair.
Huh?
All the ratings for this movie disagree with you.
I mean, that's fine.
That's fine. That doesn't mean anything.
Yeah. Thomas is allowed to have his opinion, even if it disagrees with the consensus. I mean, I have my own.
Wrong opinion.
What? It's a wrong opinion.
Anyway, I liked the fight scene at the end with the little toys and stuff. I thought it was kind of cool.
I liked it. I just didn't like the rehashing. I'll tell Thomas what to do. So one thing that bothers me about the MCU so far is that whenever it's especially an origin story movie, they tend to repeat the same shit again and again and again, where it's basically the main guy versus himself. They have a tendency to do that, and and the reason why the actual fight in Ant-Man I thought was actually kind of funny and enjoyable. But the fact that it was basically Ant-Man versus Ant-Man is what bothered me, because at this point, after you have 10 origin stories in a row that all do the same fucking thing, to me it feels boring and lazy and just poorly. I don't know. At this point I fucking hate it, and I never wanted to see it again.
I agree.
I hate it.
I'm so excited to talk about Phase 3 when it introduces my favorite villain, because the MCU finally.
Favorite villain.
Wait. Just tell me this: is it after Homecoming?
You've already seen my favorite villain.
I have.
And we'll talk about it. And maybe you don't like him. I will get you to like him.
Okay. Okay. So if it's before Homecoming, Civil War, I'm on board with.
I think
Doctor.
you're talking about Homecoming.
I'm talking about Homecoming.
Oh, you're talking about Homecoming. Okay.
I think he's the best.
And I'll explain why. By far, new villain.
Okay, well,
we'll talk about that when we talk about it. This is about Phase 2.
I have my whole argument ready for it.
Right,
and that one will be with vegan. That one will be with vegan, as far as I know.
I just like how we just call him a vegan.
Let's talk about one of the worst MCU villains, Jeff Bezos. I didn't care about it.
I'm sorry.
He's Jeff Bezos.
Okay. In my reaction, I don't know if you'll watch it, Thomas. I know you will, Muji. But in my reaction, he was in a show called House of Cards. In that show, he was Peter Russo. So in my reaction, for the most part, I call him Peter Russo. But Jeff Bezos is actually just as good. That's what I call him. All right, but good. So
I don't really remember this.
Oh yeah, go figure.
But Flitch asked earlier, why was Scott chosen to be Ant-Man and not anyone else?
Yeah. Okay. To elaborate on that, I understand that that he saw him in the newspaper and all of that, and that he just knew that he was a good heist artist, so to speak. But Paul Rudd, or whoever the fuck he was, Paul Rudd isn't the only guy, in the history of the world who's like that. So, why did he choose Paul Rudd in specific for a skill set?
So, it wasn't just Paul Rudd is technically, a good guy or whatever. And he also found a combination of someone who's got, street smarts, someone who has proven to be a good person he went to prison for doing whatever.
He exposed a company who was doing bad shit and then gave it. He was Robin Hood. That's what it was.
Yeah,
I just remember.
Basically, he stole from the. Yeah, he proved that he was a good person. He proved that he had street smart and skills, and then he also was in a desperate situation. Pym, who's an asshole, by the way, in this movie, and just take advantage of.
Also, so I remember this now. He had a electrical engineering degree. He had a record of stealing but not hurting anyone. And he had because that was what Hank wanted. He didn't want anyone like dead. And he had, like, as Thomas said, the street smarts and the physical skills to pull off something like it. He just had a record of being not just street smart, but just intelligent as well, because he has a degree and whatnot. And he has a record of just not hurting anyone.
Okay. I accept that.
Anything else?
I didn't write any notes, so I'm just kind of relying on my own memory.
I think this movie would have been so much more interesting if it was a Captain America 1 type movie, and it was Hank
in World War One.
Hank Pym during the Cold War. That would have been a cool movie.
Not really.
I don't know. Maybe I got no clue.
How would you even know? How would you even know?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
I just think that it would have been more interesting to me.
You
I would
just
have
want
cared
Captain
about.
America again.
No, Captain America was frozen during the Cold War. What are you talking about?
Yeah, he
but You
was.
just want another Captain America character.
No, I just want some interesting plot point.
I think this was pretty interesting.
There's nothing interesting about this.
There's
So
everything.
once,
The movie kept me hooked. The
if you
pacing
want
was
some
great.
fun tidbits, the movie doesn't explain this because the movie's bad at explaining really anything at all. That Jeff Bezos was trying to sell the Ant-Man suit to, they're the same people that kidnapped Tony Stark. Kind of.
Well, it was Hydra.
No.
He was selling it to Hydra. He says that.
He was selling it to the Ten Rings.
Yeah, I don't
What?
remember this, but I believe he might be right.
I
don't get
what?
it.
They don't explain it, but if you look at the guys, they're all tattooed on their neck with the Ten Ring symbol, which is the same. I don't know if you know the Ten Rings yet.
I don't.
Like if you're not paying attention, you don't notice it because it's not very important in the MCU. But it's just a little Easter egg.
Yeah.
So the terrorist organization
That
kidnapped Tony
Iron Man.
Stark, the Mandarin, he was in control of the Ten Rings. That was his terrorist organization, right?
Which Iron Man 3 didn't bother with. Yes.
Yeah, but like those are the same guys.
It's still the same organization.
Same
regardless.
organization.
Yeah.
Wait, but Jeff Bezos, but he mentioned Hydra in the movie that he was like selling it to them.
That they're one of the parties, yeah, of course.
Yeah, one of the parties he deals with. But remember, Hydra's
Oh.
gone, basically.
Kind of. I think. Wait, I don't know.
You know what I did see in I think it was either in How It Should Have Ended or the pitch meeting guy. I think one of them pointed out, why didn't Jeff Bezos sell the gun that just
Melted.
makes people-
No, I love how we're all just calling him Jeff Bezos at this point.
Muji, right now, if you like the movie so much, what's his name?
Jeff Bezos.
Thank you.
No. Yeah. What's the movie character's name, Muji?
Yeah, what's his name?
Okay, to be fair, I know it but to be fair, I just saw it, so
The
I
bad.
haven't seen
the actual characters.
Oh, the movie you think is so good you can't remember the bad guy's name. Interesting.
I resaw it.
Interesting.
Oh my god.
I will.
My Yellow Jacket.
What a
Yeah.
great
Yes.
memorable-
The main bad guy. Yes, the bald
Are you
one.
talking about the comic book name or
No,
just like identity?
the movie name, the bald guy. What's his
Yellow
name in the
Jacket.
The
movie?
bad guy's name.
Yellow Jacket.
Yellow Jacket's not his name.
What's his real name, dude?
Starts with Jeff, ends with Bezos.
Okay, I'll say it because I remember it. I just watched the movie.
Hold on. Let me.
A boring
give me a
ass
second.
movie, dude. You didn't remember.
Muji's looking it up.
Muji, what's his kid's
I'll look it up. I don't know this. He doesn't have a kid's name, but his
You know that because you like you.
Because she's a great actor. I
he
like that.
his name. Wait, are you talking about the actor's real name or his real name in the movie?
No, the Cassie Lang girl. I loved her.
No. But wait. So
Yeah,
his Jeff Bezos' real name. His real name in the
You know
movie.
what's funny?
His real name in the movie is Darren Cross.
There you go, Darren Cross.
There we go. Are you happy, Thomas?
But hey, to be completely fair, though, I just watched this movie probably 2 weeks ago, and I just got done editing it today. Back on track. Is there anything else about Ant-Man?
I like the orgy.
I do too. This has been the Phase 2 discussion with Tomas and Muji. Next time should include a third guest, but we will get there when we get there. Spoiler alert: he's a vegan. Yeah. So, but he's a vegan, which means that who knows if he's even going to show up or not. He tends to do things on his own dime. That's how vegans are. We all know that. All of us normal people. And by the way, this is all. But since people can't take a fucking jokes, people. Jesus Christ. Yeah, so other than that, this has been the Phase 2 discussion. Thank you, and do feel free to leave comments of your thoughts. Other than that, that's it, and thank you.